Hi all, welcome to Guide Coaching Classes. My name is Moazzam Ali, and today we are going to continue about our previous topic, which was the SQL string, SQL string functions. So, into our previous session, we have learnt about left string, then we have right string, then we have length, we have data length, then we had lower, then we had upper. So what is left? So if we want to start counting from the left side, at that time we will use the left string left function. Then whenever we are want to get the string from the right side, we will be using the right. Then whenever we want to use the get the length of that particular string, at that time we will use length, len. Then whenever we want to calculate the length of the data, at that time we also use the string function. So len and data length is same. Then we had upper and lower. So when we use upper and when we use lower, when we have a string and we want to convert that string to uppercase, at that time we use upper. And whenever we want to convert that string to lower string, at that time lowercase, at that time we will use lower. I'm facing some issues with my camera, so I might be invisible but my voice will be coming to you. Okay, so then we had the coming back to the point, we had L trim and right trim, the left trim and right trim to cut down the spaces from left and right respectively. Then we had the difference. So we had two parameters and we will be calculating the difference by using the SOUNDEX. Then we had format to where we had three values, value, format and the culture. So here we will be formatting the string. Then we had the ASCII value, where we were calculating about, we were getting the ASCII value of any number, I'm sorry, any character. So whenever we put any character, it will give us the ASCII value of that particular character. Then similarly, we had the character and we want to convert it to the ASCII value. So we will give the ASCII and then it will be converted to the character. Then we had nchar, which is working similarly to char. So now and then we had character index. So whenever we want to find out any characters index, at that time we give the desired letter and then we give the string, and that particular characters index will be found into that particular string. Then we have learned about concat. So concatenation is done whenever we are doing taking two strings and adding them. So we can do it with concat function. Then we can do it using plus sign, and then we can do it with the third method, that is concat underscore ws with separator. Okay, so this is these all functions we have learned so far into our previous tutorial, and I hope that you are practicing all these functions and finding some more examples. We will be coming up with the assignments on that particular functions which we have covered, so that you can get more hands on these functions. And we had lastly we had seen the pat index. So pat index nothing but we give the pattern and we find out the index of that particular pattern. So now moving on to our built-in functions for the string into the SQL. So the first function for today is replace. Replace, as it suggests, we no we are if we want to replace something with something, at the time we will give the string. Then we give the old string, what exactly we want to change into that particular string, and then we'll give the new string. So if suppose I have, my name is Muazzam, that is my string. Then the old string is Muazzam, I want to change it to new string, that now my name is Matthew. So now I will give Matthew. So what it does, it goes into first string, it checks that first string, and then it replaces with the new string. That's how replace works. Then we had reverse. So simply reverse function is mostly used into strings. So whenever we want to reverse a string, at the time we use reverse. So it simply reverse that particular given string. Then coming up next to function, that is substring. So substring function is basically used for getting the substring. This is also very important function. It is mostly used, and the questions are mostly asked about substring. So you need to focus on this function, and you need to find out examples around these function. So the how substring works. So we have a string, and within that particular string we have some string. So at the time that substring, we can replace it, we can edit it, modify it, whatever we want to do, that we can do it using substring. So how it works, it takes three parameters. The first one is string, the second one is start, and the next one is length, and all these three are required for this. So the what string is, simply my name is Mozam is my string, then start of the that particular from where I want to get anything. So I want to get my name, so my name is coming I am, then I is at first place, then space a m. So 1 2 3 4 5 space, and then at the sixth position my name is coming m. So I will write start position as sixth and length as 7. So it will take all that particular string and it will give me that particular string. We will see the example, and that will be more easy for you to understand. Then we have quote name. So what is quote name? So quote is basically, it could be double inverted quote, or it could be curly brackets or square brackets or angular brackets. That's how we can quote any particular character, any particular string. So we use quote for that, and for that string is mandatory and quote character is also, you can use it, it is temporary. So let's see the example of it. The example is this. Okay, so this is how the example looks like for the replace. As I mentioned, I have a replace function SQL tutorial. Now I want to replace this SQL with guide. So now see, this SQL will be replaced with guide. So that's how replace works. Guide tutorials. See, if I add something over here, or if I add before this, we are SQL tutorials. So still it will go, and it will we are guide tutorial. It replaces that particular desired string. Then we have used reverse. So what it does, it start printing from this side. EDIUG. That's how it will print. EDIUG. Okay, it simply reverse it. So mostly the question asked like how you will reverse a string, so we will use reverse function to it to do it. Then we have substring. So substring is basically, see, I have this string that is my given string, then I have 6 and then I have 10. So what 6 and 10 here is, it starting, the starting index is 6 and the end is 10. So from 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, at the sixth position, from the sixth position, that is from the seventh position, it should start printing. So 7 8 9 10, it should print cook. I will execute this. I'm sorry. Okay, so it is taking from sixth position to all the 10 characters. 10 characters, it will be printing all the substring. Then this is my quote name. So this simply, I have a string that is guide, and I am taking it into curly brackets. So if I execute this, it will give me the string into curly bracket. I can use singular, single quote, double quotes. I can use anything. I can quote it with anything which I want. Then I have replicate. So Okay, so first of all, we will learn about replicate, what exactly replicate is. So we have replicate. So what replicate does is it takes two parameters. The first one is string and the second one is integer, where it takes how many times, whenever we want to replicate any string. So if I have a string and I want to replicate it, or I want to rewrite it multiple times, then I will write that particular string and then I will give the number of time how many occurrence I want. So if I write my name, or I write guide coachings and I write 3, so it guide coachings will be printed 3 times or thrice. That's how replicate works. Then we have soundex. We have seen this soundex earlier into our session, where we have discussed about the pronunciation of two words. So whenever those two words are similar in pronouncing, at the time it gives the certain characters, such certain hexadecimal numbers such as S and 000. That means the match is exact and the word are matching into the pronunciation, such as C and C. So C means we are seeing something, and C also means the seashore or the sea where the water is accumulated. So those are pronunciation same, so it will give us S 000. That means the exact match. Then we have space. So if we want to give spaces into, if we want to print the spaces, at that time we will use space, and it has only one parameter which is mandatory, that is number. So we want to give the spaces number. So if I give 3, it will put 3 spaces. uh, then we have str. So now str stands for string. So now what str does is it converts the number into string, and it takes 3 parameters. So it will first take that string, first take that number, then it will take the length, and then it will take the decimals, how many decimals. So basically length and decimals are the two optional fields, and the number is mandatory. Length is by default 10. It has a 10 as a value, and the decimal has the 0. So whenever we are using that, we will see the example. Whenever we are using that, we will be getting the two parameters are optional. We can put either one value, and the result will be also given. So first of all, we will see the replicate. So replicate here. So if you see replicate, I have written guide coaching and I have written here 2. So if I execute this, it will give me guide coaching twice. I will remove this just to understand it easily. So I have written coaching hyphen. So it is coming twice. If I give here 3, it will give me thrice. That's how replicate works. Okay, now SOUNDEX. So as I mentioned, C and C, these are similar in pronunciation. So it gives S 000. That is exact match. If I give CS and portal, they are different. So it gives something different. That is C 00 and P634. That could be any number, but for exact match, it would be S 000. And for every time, every integer, it will give 00, because neither numbers are not able to, it is not able to compare the numbers pronunciation. So that's how the soundex works. Then we have spaces. So if I give here as 3 or 2, it will print the 2 spaces. I'm not able to see, we won't be able to see the spaces, but spaces are there. Okay, then we have the str function. So string function basically is used to convert the numbers to strings. So at that time we use it, and these two parameters are optional over here. The first one is the the length, and the second one is the what we call as a default decimal value. So if I execute this, that means the length, that is these 3, and then 2, then 2, that is 6. So it is printing 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 are printed, and then 2. That means only these two are going to be printed. Okay, so if I give it 2 as a 1 at that time, this will happen. Only one value will be taken. That's how it works. So that is string function. It is now, earlier it was number, but now it is string, so we can use it as a string also. And whenever we want to if somebody asks us to do a reverse of a number, at that time what we can do is we can take that particular string in, and here we can reverse it with the reverse function, where it is reverse. Yes, reverse is here. So if I go and if I do like this, if I control C, and if I go here and if I paste it over here, and if I do it like this, I think it won't do it. But like we can take the result of it, and then we can do the reverse of it. Okay, so now moving on to our next topic, that is stuff. So stuff, I think I have not explained. So stuff, first of all, we will see what is stuff is. So stuff contains the four parameters. The first one is string, the second one is start, and the third one is length, and then the new string. So stuffing means basically is something you are putting in between, or you are filling with something. So stuffing, that's the basic meaning of it. Then what stuffing does is, we have a string. So like I have a string of four words or four characters, then I want to stuff with some word or some letter. So if I want to insert some letter, I can enter it here, 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 or here. I can enter it here as well. I can enter one word or one character. I can replace it with two characters or two words. I can replace the whole string with one character only. That are the functions, or that are the operations which we can do using stuff. And then we have what are the parameters which are required. So string is required, then require the start is required, the length is required, and the new string is also required. Then we will see what is translate. So in translate, what it does is, it takes the string. You have a string, so like you have a string as today is Monday. Then you have a character, and then you give a translation. So it basically has three three uh, three characters. I'm sorry, my connection is lost. So it has three. Just give me a second, guys. I think my webcam is not working properly. Okay, sorry. So translate function contains three parameters. The first one is string, the second one is character, and the third one is translate. So I have a string that today is Monday. So I want to replace Monday with some other word. So that will be my translation. So in translation, I will give some other word, but that word will be of same length which is as Monday. So Monday. So Monday has 5 characters. So other word which is coming as a translation should also have 5 words only. That is the condition of translate, which we need to fulfill. So here string is also required. Here characters are required, and translation is also required. So now moving on to our last function for today is Unicode. Unicode is simply, we have seen it earlier with some other name, but here Unicode is something which is doing the conversion of alphabets to ASCII value. So we'll go and we will check quickly. So first of all, we'll see the stuff, and this is your assignment for to reverse the number of from reverse the number using string function. So how you can do it, that is your assignment. Okay, so now this is stuff. So stuffing, here if you see, I have one string given as guide, then I have two then comma 1, and then I have this string. So what does this means is, see, try to understand this. This is GUIDE. I want at the second place, at the second index, at the second index only one character. At the second index, this is my GUIDE. At the second index, replace the only one character with guide coaching tutorial. So it will remove that you you, and it will add the guide coaching tutorial, and it will keep all the rest of all same. So see, if I execute this, you can see G is there, only U is missing, and IDE is there. That's how it works. So if I do, if I put it as 3, so this G, U, I and D, these all three will be replaced with guide coaching. So now if you see, I will have G and E. Okay, that's how the tutorial. In tutorial, if I I have taken the other example, tutorial SQL tutorial. So if I put 1 that means at the first, only one first letter, and replace that first letter only with HTML. So if I execute it, it will write HTML S replaced by HTML, and then the rest of the string. That's how the stuff works. Okay, now I have the other as translate. So we have seen the translation. The condition is it should be of matching length. So if you see the first example, we will take the first example as this one. Okay, so now if you see, I have translate function, then I have written today is Monday, and I want this Monday to be replaced with Tuesday, Tuesday. So now see the difference carefully. This is 3 and this is 2, 5. This is 3 and this are 1, 2, 3, 7. So this is 6 and this is of length 7. So that type of conversion is not possible. So it will give me some error. The second and third argument of the translate built-in function must contain an equal number of characters. So I want to reduce to make it equal. So because translation here, the translate method will replace this character, this word with this word. So here I will do this and I will check. So now today is Tuesday. That's how it works. Okay. So now we have the last one is Unicode. So in Unicode, if you see, it converts the number Unicode to it converts the alphabet to Unicode. That's how it works. So now in coming, I want you guys to prepare, and I want you guys to work on these functions and see by yourself. If you have any questions regarding it, you can write me and you can directly contact me, then we can proceed further. Then into our next session we will be seeing some advanced functions of the SQL. Till then, practice hard and keep on